What up gamers, I'm Jason and today on Dice & Dragons I'm going to be unboxing the Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth, the Shadowed Pass expansion. So of course, this is an expansion to the original game, The Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth, which was designed by Nathan Hajek and Grace Holdinghaus. I did look for information on the designer for the expansion, however it is currently unlisted. So if anyone does happen to know, please let me know down below in the comments. And of course, it is once again published by Fantasy Flight Games. This is a game for 1 to 5 players and plays in 60 minutes plus. I'd say that it's probably closer to about an hour and a half to 2 hours per mission. What you're going to be doing in Journeys in Middle-earth, you'll be questing across the realm, and of course, Shadowed Pass. You can see it looks like the Mines of Moria a little bit on the cover. Also delving into the dark as you must complete your campaign and stop the forces of evil that are rising again in Middle-earth. Now this expansion also introduces 5 new classes, a whole slew of new weapons, and 5 new heroes to the game. Now with that being said, let's take a look at what's in the box. Let's take a look at what's in the box for the Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth, the Shadowed Pass expansion, the first of the big box expansions for the game. I'll just slide this over. So we do have a new rule book. Let's take a quick look and see what's inside. So we get a nice component list, a little bit of some lore and background. And then we've got some new rules for the game. So corruption, we have difficult terrain and elevation. I guess logs are also some new type of terrain. We get rubble and even webs, so we will be encountering some spiders. So not too many new rules, but it's always fun to see the rules that expand in any expansion. Now, really, really strongly dislike this shrink wrapping. It's something that I find incredibly wasteful. Probably easier for packaging, but we're just getting more plastic, and as you can see, without any tools, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to get open, and in all honesty, I don't think it provides anything really for the customer. It's just easier for the producers. So let's see what we got for tokens. So some more inspiration tokens, some more of the different character tokens. We then have, of course, new tiles that are all lettered. So we've got 212, interesting, 310. So I'm wondering, is there anything on the back that denotes that these are part of the expansion? Because I remember some of these before. I'm wondering if when we get to the campaign, we'll only be using these tiles and none of the ones from the original game, but not quite sure. I'd have to double check and see what the numbers were. So plenty of new terrain, new items, some more item tokens. We've got the new rubble tokens, the log tokens, a little bit more of the same here. So not that much new as to what we had before. Now I don't recognize these as the corruption tokens, and these definitely look like another new type of token. As I pack it back up, we'll take a look at the rulebook just to identify what those tokens are. So we do have a nice bag of minis. We'll take a look at them in a bit more detail. Let's start with, actually, we've got our pack of cards here, but let's go with the heroes first. I'm sure that's what most of you are fairly excited about. So we do get Arwen making her appearance in the game. Her special ability, once during your turn, you or a nearby hero may flip 1 damage or fear face down, or discard 1 face down damage or fear. Well, that's really awesome. She's a strong healer. We got Balin. Once per round, when you suffer damage after resolving all damage from a single source, you may prepare 1 skill from your discard pile. That's pretty cool as well. Diz. After you test, you may spend 1 fate icon to place 1 card from your test on top of your deck. And of course, Gandalf, who I definitely will be playing as. Once per round, if you discard a prepared skill with a fate icon, you may gain 1 inspiration and scout 1. Yeah, Arwen and Gandalf seem to be my favorites. We also have Eleanor. Once per phase, a hero in your space may spend 1 inspiration to convert 2 fate to 2 successes. Well, that's also good as well. Dang, I really like some of the characters that we've got here. Let's take a look at the cards. As you see, we got a nice stack of cards, so we're not going to go through all of them. We'll just try to get an idea as to what maybe some of the new rules are in the game. So once again, we've got all the symbols on the back. So this is just different reference cards for things like the elevation, rubble, logs, and the webs. Just put those over here for now. Here we've got new gear. So what we have here is just some ring mail, twice wrought ring mail, second skin. I'm wondering if these are all divided up really in terms of how they work for characters. We've got some loot, the crown of shadows, hammer and tongs. When you attack or test to negate damage or fear, you may deplete this trinket. Well, that's pretty cool. So overall, again, some good stuff. Actually, I'm going to keep all this stuff in order to see some of the other stuff. So we got weapons here. Lots of new weapons for each character. One success, 4 hits with the mountain fall. 1 success, 3 hits and cleave. 2 successes, 4 hits and stun. So it definitely looks like we got some powerful weapons. We got trusted walking stick, hunting great bow, 3 hits pierce. Pretty cool stuff. Let's go through. So we're not seeing too much armor. Definitely just like scrolling through this stuff here, we see way more in terms of weapons for the hand, staff of the flame, Maranwi, some swords, dueling sword, elf forged sword, 2 hits pierce. Wow, that's pretty neat. 3 hits pierce, sunder, and then 3 hits lethal. Wow. So we're definitely getting a whole ton of new weapons and items for your hands. Things like shields for a little bit more defense, slings, knives, hunting knife, Skinner, Star Swift, 3 hits pierce, 3 hits lethal. I'm definitely excited to get some of these to the board. Everything else we have are all of the skill cards. So we're going to go through that rather quickly. So we do get a whole slew of new titles. Treasure Seeker, at the start of your turn, you may remove this skill from the adventure to place your hero in a space with a search token and interact with it without provoking attacks. So that could be very, very good, but it seems more situational. Dawnbringer gives you an extra success in your deck. Very cool. Insight, which gives you an extra face. Once per round, a hero in your space may discard a skill to scout 2. So I'm just trying to see at the bottom. So this is the Herbalist. So we do have, so we've got the 3 new titles here. And then we've got the Herbalist cards. And I'm seeing I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Everything starts from 4 because you always have the 3 base cards unless they're going to be in another spot. We're going to have the Traveler. So let's take a look at the Herbalist Aid Knowledge. During your turn, you may discard this skill to choose another hero to scout 1. To prepare a card with Fate, you gain 1 inspiration. So we got some healing cards. Now that's at the end of your turn, you may discard this skill for you and nearby heroes to discard up to 2 damage, and then you can also have Sprint 1. So you're getting a character that can heal. With regards to the Traveler, during your turn, you may discard this skill for a nearby hero to discard 1 fear and scout 1. That's cool. So we've got around every corner, which gives you a chance to scout 1 and sprint 1. As this is unboxing, I don't want to go into too much detail. The Traveler also is you do not provoke attacks, and you can use as a guard too. So this looks like to be like sort of the newer version of the Pathfinder. So I'll probably be playing a Traveler for sure. Before you travel, you may discard this card to become hidden, and you can also discard it for sprint 2. Very cool stuff. Next, we have the Meddler. So when your nearby hero tests for knowledge, you may discard this skill for that hero to gain 1 boon and rest 2. Wow, so that's pretty neat. Able to gain a boon. Fast talking. You can add 2 success and scout 1 when you interact with a person. That's really neat. So this is going to be the character that's going to really, the class that should let you interact with the board a little easier in terms of people that you meet along your quest. They also do seem to have some good things like rest 2. favorite of successes. During your turn, you may discard this skill to scout for and prepare up to 3 additional cards. Well, that is just ridiculous hidden plans. I like that. And then quick temper. Before you strike with this skill, add 2 modifiers of your choice to the attack. And then you can also use it for strike 3. So the meddler is going to be a very interesting character. Next, we've got the delver, which makes sense. So looks like one of the skills for the dwarves. Before you strike with this skill, add something to the attack. Now, sprint 2. I'm taking enough time looking at some of the classes. I just want to get an idea. So this one, you may attack if there is a search or threat token in the enemy space and add 4 hits and pierce. Pretty cool. So some of these cards are really going to be about delving and exploring. So it makes sense for one of the dwarf characters. Next, we've got the smith. Got some nice rest cards. Sprint, strike 1. After your attacks an enemy in your space, you may discard this skill to attack that enemy and add sunder. So looks like we got some good defense as well as attack cards. With the smith, it makes sense for a dwarven smith to be like that. Forges fire. When you attack, you may discard this skill, choose an equipped item, and add 1 success for each depletion token on that item. Well, that's really neat. So seems to have a lot of versatility. Then we've got Diz. So Diz's card is right here. So we've got each of the ones for the character. Diz 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Innate, increase one of your things. I'm forgetting which one that is. Spirit. Sorry, increase your spirit by 1. And then you may, whenever once per round when you test, you may add 1 fate. It can give you strike 2. So we've all. Balin has some cool guarding stuff. Loyal friend. Before you attack, you may discard the skill to test spirit instead and gain 1 inspiration. Interesting. When you scout, you may reveal 1 fewer card to gain 1 inspiration. That's cool as well. Eleanor, when you test, you may discard this skill to reveal 3 additional cards. Oh, that's pretty cool. Can be very strong. Gift of Men. Nobility. Before a nearby hero test, you may discard this skill. For that hero to gain 2 inspiration. If they are an elf or human, you may gain 1 inspiration. Some interesting support cards. Arwen, Even Star. Before you test, you may discard this skill to test Spirit. Instead of reveal 2 additional cards. Gives you some sprint. She's willful. You have a card that you can use for strike 2. Once per round, you may scout. You may reveal 1 additional card as Gandalf. He's got some awesome guard abilities. Uncanny. During your turn, you may discard this skill to search your deck for a weakness. Remove that skill from the adventure and shuffle your deck. Well, love you, Gandalf. Flame Imperishable. When you pair this skill, gain 1 inspiration. When you test, you may discard this skill to convert 1 fate to 1 success. Greater power. Strike 2, sprint 2, guard 2, rest 2, hide 2. Well, that is totally a Gandalf card, and it's awesome. Dazzling Flash. When you attack an enemy in your space, discard this skill to add smite and stun. Very cool. Then we've got just the first cards for the other classes. The ones that you absolutely have to take because they're going to be part of your starting hands. So they were just all put in the back. Guidance. So overall, as you can see, we've got a lot of cool stuff coming into the game, but we don't have any, as you can see, new weaknesses. All that stuff you're going to need to have the core game. So one of the reasons why you are required to have the core game in order to play this. So we're taking a look at the components. So probably went in a little bit more detail than I originally planned. But for those of you that follow our channel, you know that we like to do detailed unboxings. So let's take a look at the miniatures. Now I'm going to try to figure out what all these different characters are. I think there's one mini that stands out right now in terms of enemy minis. And just be careful with these guys. As you can see, they're stuck together, but we can get them apart. So here we've got the awesome Balrog. That has to be the Balrog. I mean, Flaming Sword, the whip. Just very cool mini. Now, of course, we have some terrifying spiders that we're going to be dealing with. I imagine we're going to be going through the Mirkwood. Here we've got some of the undead. So pretty cool as they look like the ones from the end of the trilogy. We have what looks to be goblins probably. Doesn't quite look like an orc, more like a goblin with the whip. Not quite sure what enemy this is. Here we've got one of our characters, and I'm don't think it's our win. So I'm not sure. We'll put that to the side. As you can see, we do get doubles and triples of some of these guys, obviously, for the different enemy groups. So all the ones that we've taken a look at, I'm not going to pick up. I have no idea what this enemy is, but looks to be like a boar or a worm that's going to be rising up from the depths to attack us. Here we've got some trolls. I'm not sure which trolls they are. So we'll just dump out all of the minis, and I think we've taken a look at most of the new ones that we have. I'm going to separate the heroes over here. We'll take a look at them in a second. We've already seen one of them. So here we've got what looks to be like one of the boss minis, one of the spider queens. Definitely a character that is going to provide a challenge for us, much like the Balrog. Yeah, here we've got some goblins holding spears. So there are a few of them, not too many. I would figure that we'd probably have to use some of the miniatures from the base game as well, because we're not getting a ton of new minis in this game. Another one of the boars. Just try to group these all up together. So here we've got some more of the characters. Now this definitely is Diz right here. And this character definitely looks to be Arwen. So very cool. Love the sculpt. So this would be Eleanor. Then leaving us with Balin. Love the fact that he's got the bird on his shoulder. And of course, Gandalf the Grey. Be neat if we ever get an expansion that upgrades him to Gandalf the White. Maybe a new mini as well, as he's definitely one of my favorite characters. So there you have it. You've seen what we've got in the box for Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth, the Shadowed Path. Now, just as things are getting a little stuck together, I'm going to move the heroes over there. I'm actually going to be repackaging and organizing this. For those of you that are wondering if we're going to be keeping the expansion box after mistakes that, well, not mistakes, but we've kept a lot of our Descent and Imperial Assault stuff in different boxes, which is something we're going to have to eventually rectify, as takes up just a ton of shelf space. So we will be looking to place all of this content into the main Lord of the Rings box. There is plenty of room in the Journeys in Middle-earth box for all of the content, so that's definitely where it's going to live. So I'll put everything back into the box. Then we'll just need to punch it and organize it. And we just wanted to take a look at what that last token was. So this is the difficult ground token, the other new type of token that is added to the game. So hopefully you enjoyed this unboxing, and I'll be coming back at you with a quick outro. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you like what you saw, don't forget to click the like button, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when our next video is released. Also, down below in the video description, you'll find links to all of our social media feeds, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you'd like to see pictures of Julia and I playing the Shadowed Pass, well, they'll be on those feeds. Now, popping up in front of me are going to be links to two of our other videos. The one over here will be to our most recently released video. And of course, this one here will take you to our review and how to play of Journeys in Middle-earth. And with that being said, don't forget, keep playing games.